The Willy man's coming.
Already starting off this motherfucker right. Bags coming out of my mouth. Welcome to another season, season 2 of Bet the Bus. I am your host, Payoff Willy, aka Year 10.2. We got the boys in the back, JP the Vault Hovey, Jackie Slips,
Yeah, the vault.
G Money. That's the easiest one that could come to my head right there. We'll think of one working title. And Mitch, Big Brain Analytics. Turn that handheld around and show them the size of your fucking head, brother.
Holy man.
The boys are back. We're about to have a phenomenal season. This gambling show is a sports betting show on college football. If you're joining us right now, we had millions that followed us last year. We made people a fuck ton of money, but we bet on college football. This will be college football centric. NFL games, they're going to something a little bit different. And you guys, everybody who's followed Bussin with the boys and everything else, you guys are going to see a sneak peek here coming soon because we're dropping a show next week for the NFL gambling. But this show, presented by absolutely fucking nobody. We need sponsors. You want to advertise? You could go here. You could go here. Or you could go on Mitch's head. Mitch, turn it around, show him your head. Show him your forehead. That's a fucking billboard. But this is a show, guys, where we ride the roller coaster of emotion all season long, and we cultivate a mentality that allows us to battle any storm that may come. Money can be regained. Money comes and goes. It comes and goes. But time, opportunity, they're irreplaceable. We don't get these opportunities back. And because they're so few and far in between, we have to take fucking advantage of every opportunity to grab the fucking sportsbook by the balls and take it for all it's worth. It's a fucking mentality. It's a winner's mentality. Losers react. Winners what, boys?
Wow.
There we go, Mitch. That's great. Winners react, boys?
Respond.
Wait. Losers react. What do winners do, boys?
Respond.
Yes, hell yeah. Those are my guys. I fucking miss them. But it's a mentality. What do winners do after they win? They find the next opportunity. What do you do when you lose your job only to come home and find your wife cheating on you? Winners, that mentality finds the next opportunity. What do you do when that post-nut clarity subsides? You look for that next opportunity. And that's what we fucking do here on Bet the Bus. Jackie boy, Jackie Slips, please give us a quote that kicks off this season the right way, brother.
It's fucking lovely to be back. The cigar smoke, the fellas, the picks, the degeneracy. It just feels so right.
And with no guardrails.
No guardrails.
No guardrails, baby. We're
No guardrails.
brought to you by Barstool Sports. We are free.
Yes, sir. So let's, I got a little quote for us. Kick us off the year right. On the topic of new beginnings.
Yes.
There are 2 mistakes one can make along the road to truth. Not going all the way and not starting. And that was the Buddha who said that. And I think we really need to live by that this year. Whatever happened last year, whether we were in the green, the red, whatever, is a new year, a new day. And I want to kick this shit off strong. And let's make some money.
God, I fucking love it. Let's gamble our asses off. Before we do, everybody take your hats off, bow your heads. We got to start with the prayer. Dear Lord, grant us the serenity to accept the results of these picks that we cannot change. Give us the courage to bet with the boys. Give us the wisdom to understand that ultimately none of it matters without your blood. None of it. Amen.
Amen, man.
Amen. Let's have a year. Let's have a year, boys. First game's up. Jack, lay it up for us.
It's only fucking right that we start off hot with the motherfucking Tennessee Volunteers playing in our great city of Nashville. We got a beautiful 11 a.m. kickoff in Nissan Stadium. The Tennessee Volunteers taking on Virginia. The spread is 27.5. What are your thoughts?
Joe Milton. We got a glimpse of him last year in the Clemson game. I think he's going to be a dog. I know we lost Hooker. And I say we, you guys already know where I'm fucking leaning to this. They're coming into Nashville, Virginia. Lot of bad history on their side as it involves racism. They're coming into Nashville, and the Tennessee Volunteers, I like them at minus 27.5. That feels like a stretch, but again, I think Tennessee picks up where they left off last year. They're bringing in the recruiting classes. They got the coaching staff. We've been out there. We know the culture, and I think they're going to start off strong with an absolute ass whooping on Virginia. And not because I think Virginia's a bad football team. I think they're one of the worst football teams. So I think Tennessee's going to run the score up, and I all but guarantee that's at least 28-point win. Would you agree? I know you agree. JP, do we feel unanimous about this?
That they're going to win?
Yeah, to lead the boys down the flowing river of opportunity.
Yeah. Tennessee will win this game minus 27.5.
Yes.
That could be tough.
Are you fading? Are you going to fade it?
The thing is there's a reason Joe Milton was not a starter at any of the other places he was, and there's a reason he got benched. He has a cannon, but as far as I've seen, that's about it. And a lot of people have cannons. So minus 27.5 is hard.
No, Bazooka Joe, yes. Cannon of an arm, but he's mad athletic. He's going to be spinning off the ball. He's going to be running. We got Jabari Smalls. He's going to be doing his thing. Think about it like this. Tennessee's going to come out and score in the first 5 minutes. They're going to go 3-and-out UVA on their next drive. Tennessee gets the ball back. We're up 14-0 in the first quarter. You need 2 more touchdowns to cover that spread. UVA might get 3 points the whole game. I'm going to give them a field goal. But we're covering the spread. We're coming out hot. The Nissan Stadium is going to be decorated in beautiful volunteer orange. It's going to be loud.
Throw the damn ball.
Throw the damn ball, Joe.
Throw the damn ball. Tennessee minus 27.5. Take us to the Dirty South.
The Dirty South. We have probably one of the biggest matchups of the weekend. Number 5 LSU taking on number 8 Florida State. The spread is minus 2.5 favor to LSU. What you got?
Boys, I'm drinking what's down in Baton Rouge. I like LSU minus 2.5. I like that easy. I think LSU is going to be a national champion contender this year. Yeah, we got to go during this spring tour. They were great to us. Rolled out the red carpet. Who's the fucking linebacker? Is it Harold Perkins?
Yeah,
Perk, bro. A savage. That entire defense is savage. Questionable number 7 giving it to an offensive lineman. I thought that was a little out there. You need to give it to you need to give it to probably Harold Perkins. But we are drinking what's down in Baton Rouge right now. I like LSU against Florida State. If you remember last year, they lost to Florida State on a last-second field goal. We got to sit with Mason Taylor.
Son of
Xerxes.
Taylor.
Oh, it's Jason Taylor.
Same.
Yeah, Jason Taylor. But he had a lot of criticism that game. He was a true freshman catching and toting that rock. He's going to be a fucking stud this year for the boys. I think Brian Kelly's second year at the helm, I think he's got this program on lock. They do all the things, the sports science, the mental, the everything to pour into that program. I think LSU is going to beat their ass. I understand that Jordan Travis for FSU is a Heisman candidate. LSU also has Jaden Daniels, who I think is going to be a stud and make a big leap this year. I love the Tigers at home against Florida State. Do we have any disagreement out there amongst the bus?
Not from us.
We're all in?
Tigers.
All in.
And if anybody thinks of if somebody wants to fade out there and we figure out whether it's a punishment or a bet between us or something that the loser has to do, by all means, speak up if that ever comes to your brain, because it's not coming to my brain.
I would love to incorporate some kind of public humiliation, whether
Jesus
it's like
Christ,
a dunce cap
every week or something.
Or it's if you go out on a limb and you're the contrarian and then you fail, I think you need to be put in the spotlight a little bit.
Maybe in the theme and spirit of college football.
Yeah.
If the Cox lose this weekend to North Carolina, you might have to be decked out in light blue. In Carolina blue next week. Something like that. You know what I mean?
Dude, I would make any bet on South Carolina, which we'll get to later.
We will get to that one. We will get to that one. And speaking of in the spirit of college football, the weather is trying to fight its way here.
Fighting the good fight.
The air feels cleaner. You feel that brisk in the mornings now. And I know we're in late August. We're due still for another hot weekend or two, maybe. But it puts that smile on your face. Remember that sunlight we talked about that seemed a little more yellow in the summers and shit like that? And then it turns a little whiter when it gets into the football season with the fall. That's what's coming up, boys. Let's kick it over to, I can't wait to get into this one.
This is a fun game. I think we're all really excited to see what Colorado's made of this year. I personally think they're going to be a shit show, but let's see what you got. We got number 17 ranked TCU versus Colorado. What's your bet on this game? You taking a spread? You taking overs?
The wild card of Deion Sanders, Coach Primetime. I believe in Coach Deion and the culture he tries to instill and build and everything else. They've had a lot of turnover and transition this year with bringing a lot of recruits in from the outside. You heard him. He's bringing his luggage and it's Louis. Whatever JP you can come. Yeah, Louis. What do you come up with on that production?
Bring out the Louis.
Yeah, tell him to bring out the Louis. If you're listening right now, you need to bring your ass over to the YouTube channel and see this magnificent production young JP the Vault Hovey is going to be doing. But I like Deion Sanders as a head coach, and I think that program will come in time. However, I do not think it's going to happen this year. But it's such a wild card. I want to stay away from the spread, but I would like to take the over 63.5. So if you're new to gambling, joining the boys, maybe wanting to dip your toe into this opportunity that's free, that's going to put money in your pocket, if both teams combine total over 63.5 points, we win the fucking bet. I like TCU. I know Max Duggan is gone. It's Duggan, right? Yeah, Duggan.
Yeah.
But Chandler Morris, who got injured when Max came and took over last year, he was set to be the starter. He now gets his job back in a culture, in a program that there's a lot of excitement to be one of them horny frogs, right? It's horned frogs, right? The horny frogs?
Horny frogs.
The horny frogs. As long as and I haven't seen him put out a bullshit ass TikTok this year. So I think what they have going on in TCU's program, I like. I think it's going to be an air raid attack. I think it's going to be throw the damn ball. I do think Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback for Colorado, I think that they have an opportunity to score some points that's going to get this game over 63.5. However, there's a reason those guys, when Deion dropped the clip of the boys out there fighting at practice and nobody was running over to the fight, it's because they're scared. They're not exactly primed and built for this opportunity yet. And I think they're going to come. I think it's going to shock them this weekend. You go on Pornhub and you type in Colorado's defense, you're going to see their defense on the receiving end. That's how much of a liability I think their defense is going to be, especially against a high-powered offense like TCU. TCU, Horny Frogs, Colorado, take the over 63.5. I love that bet. If anybody else has anything to add.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Pending a potential TikTok dance posted by TCU, does this change anything? If they post something pre-game, pre-snap, are you taking the under? Because I am.
Now, here, let me throw this wrinkle in. If it's somebody that doesn't look like they belong on the field in the tightest gear possible, hitting a little white boy comb over TikTok dance in the locker room, that's where I think the flag goes up. The alarm has to go off that maybe we change our position. But as of right now, I do like TCU.
We'll definitely keep the people
in Colorado
updated on socials if we see any TikTok posts, because that would be a late shift for me at least.
If anybody out there knows of anything right now, please fucking be loud about it. Alert the boys too.
Yeah, send it to us.
Alert us.
One more thing too on this. I don't know if anyone's coined this term yet, but I'm saying it right here for the first time. Colorado is a designer team. They're cool. They're fun to support. They look expensive, but they're not fucking practical. And I think this year, like I said at the beginning, it's going to be a shit show. I would love to see Deion thrive there, but I think it's going to be an absolute media frenzy after the game.
And I'm glad you said that because I love your framework there, but you are also talking about what would Prime time would be just that if he didn't have these years of context, stories, and practical teachings that he did himself to be that designer looking flashy. It seems expensive. They seem fun, this, that, the other. I get what you're saying, but you got to understand the brain behind the machine of Coach Primetime. Again, I believe in Coach Prime. I think the culture is going to be there because we've heard the tales of Deion as a guy in the film room, the practice field that carried out to that swag in the game. I think he will instill that culture. I just don't think it's this weekend. But just to go to your point, I think that's exactly what,
I think it works as a player. I just don't see it panning out well as a coach. Just that mentality.
He did it at Jackson State.
No, I'm saying just the mentality. Yeah, I know, but that's a completely different.
That's a different situation. But he took that whole landscape. He still did what everybody was like, oh, let's see him fail. Let's see this happen. And I think he's getting another opportunity at Colorado. I do think they're going to get ran on this weekend. But I'm not on the train if they're going to lose under, like I'm taking the futures bet of under 3.5 games for Colorado because I believe in what Deion can build. It's just going to take time. And it seems, what is it? What's the fucking right word? Where's the dictionary when you need one? Abrasive?
Sure.
People's uncomfortable with it because it's that new juice that Deion brings everywhere he goes.
I don't want to get it twisted. I do want to see Deion succeed, but I just don't know.
Sound like it.
I don't know if Colorado is the program that he's going to do it with. But moving on to our fourth game, Boise State at number 10 Washington. Spread is 14. You got something for us?
This could be the bet the bus lock of the week. However, we wanted to move it where the stakes are a little bit higher for the bet the bus lock of the week. Washington minus 14. This is a high-powered offense that put up fucking points last year. A lot of people in the Midwest and in the on the eastern side of the nation, of the country. Nobody really tunes into the Pac-12 games, right? It's a fucking conference. They're already blowing up. They're not a football conference. However, when you tuned in to watch Washington last year, bombs over Baghdad, throw the damn ball. They have their returning starter, Michael Penix.
Either one.
Michael Penix Jr., either one. And they are returning 14 starters. I think they're going to mop the floor. I think minus 14 is a very safe pick. And they're at Washington, one of the hardest places to play. Not only that, here's a stat from Big Brain Mitch. Washington is 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 meetings against Boise State. So that's a little piece of history to bring this in here. However, I do think with Penix coming back, 14 starters, Washington is going to light it up with Boise State at home in front of Husky Nation, dude. Boys?
Yeah, I'm all in on that. Penix Jr., I think is rightfully so a Heisman candidate. I believe he was where Indiana before. Yeah, and I think last year he kind of put himself back on the map, and I think this year he's gonna continue it.
Confidence, man, especially in that young mind, like. You're a young kid and you start dealing at that level, you start getting that confidence. I think Washington could be tough this year. Fuck the ring 10, but.
Yeah, I think it's Jake Marsh who coins this one, but trust the data. You gotta trust the data.
Is it Jake Marsh or is it Stephen Che?
Oh, Stephen Che, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Stephen Che. Trust the data.
Yeah.
Got that. Moving on.
There we go. There it is.
To our final game. And
the bet the bus. This pick is not presented by anybody, but if you're out there and you're looking for a discounted price, we might have your back.
Well, they might want to hurry because as we start racking this money up, I don't want to say we don't need sponsors, but the price goes up because we're going to be winning. We're going to be making money. And those small dollar signs don't mean as much when you bring it in.
A zero starts to get put at the end of the equation
each week
when we win.
And yeah, our lock of the week, I didn't even know this was our lock of the week until just now. Usually I'd be nervous. This week, definitely not. I heard Shane Beamer say, they asked him how he practiced. They said, it didn't look great. It didn't look like our guys were ready for a game week. And that right there, I saw right through his lie. That meant he loved what he saw. He wanted North Carolina to think we weren't ready. And this year, South Carolina is coming for everything. And it starts with North Carolina's head on a plus 2.5 point spread.
I love that pick. I love South Carolina plus 2.5. JP, I am fucking riding with you. I want the Gamecocks to have, I think they're a dark horse in the SEC this year. Outside looking in, I don't think they win the conference by any means. However, I think they're a competitive fucking team. Last year, if you remember Spencer the Snake Rattler, boys, transferred over from Oklahoma. Up and down to start the year last year, but in the last 3 games of the season, he threw for over 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns, thanks to the data by our boy Mitch finding that out. But I like Rattler this year. I think he's in a big year. Who's that receiver we had on in the spring tour?
Juice Wells.
Juice Wells. I fucking love his confidence. Their defense, their secondary led the SEC with 15 interceptions last year. And yeah, they're playing the Heisman candidate, Drake Maye at North Carolina. He's a good quarterback. North Carolina will probably put up some points. However, I like South Carolina at home in front of their crowd. Wait.
No.
They're not at home. It's just they're in Charlotte. They're playing in a, what's it fucking called?
Neutral location.
Neutral
Last time we played him there, we whooped him with the guy that is our starting running back this year at quarterback.
There you go. That's a tip from the boy who's on the inside, boots on the ground at South Carolina. I like South Carolina this game. That is our bet the bus lock of the week. I feel the best about that one because again, I think this will be a big weekend. I think it's big too for Drake Maye.
I got something to say. Because, I've had so many people text me, Jack, who you going to take in the South Carolina-North Carolina game? Jack, who's going to win the Battle of the Carolinas? We all know what happened in Columbia last year, the downfall of Tennessee season. South Carolina took a massive win over us. And it's been tough to live with this whole year. So with that being said, I'd like to hit a little quote. And this is from the beautiful, the starry Carrie Underwood. Every day is a new day. And you'll never be able to find happiness if you don't move on. So with that being said, I am riding with the fucking Gamecocks.
Welcome.
Lock that shit in.
Welcome.
Lock it in.
Jack, I'm not going to lie. You had me all the way up until you went with the Gamecocks, man. And I'm glad you're on this boat. I thought this was going to be kind of the first divisional pick amongst the boys, which would have been fun. But also, what's good to see is you also got your boys back. You're not starting the bad blood just yet. Not until once a loss occurs, it comes.
It's a win-win, honestly, in my situation, because South Carolina takes the dub. I'm on the right side of history. South Carolina loses. South Carolina starts off 0-1. So
You get to put the gun to JP's head.
Exactly. But I do think South Carolina will take care of business. So it'll be a fun game. College game day, too.
I know.
Hey, he said put the gun to my head. I pray I look my killer in his eye.
I'm glad to be back with you boys, man. I cannot wait to get in all this gambling shit, our group chats, fucking everything. Everybody out there riding. In the comments, if you're watching, drop a comment. It's going to be a hell of a year for Bet the Bus. It's going to be a hell of a year for the boys. We're going to live in prosperity. We're going to live in prosperity and in the highest regard of the sports book. And I believe that. I believe it down to my fucking
nuts.
I believe it down to my nuts, man. Sorry, somebody's calling me right now. It's literally just through a full gas.
Was it the bank?
Thank you for tuning in to Bet the Bus. We're the fucking boys. Put money in your pocket.
Hey, also remember, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one single step, or in our case, one 10-leg parlay. Let's get this money this year.